Luxury real estate in India is evolving, with sustainability and innovation becoming key drivers of growth. At the forefront of this transformation is Whiteland Corporation, known for its future-ready developments and bold vision. Guiding this vision is Mr. Sudeep Bhatt, Director of Strategy. In this edition of Our Partner, Our Pride, he shares insights on the company's growth, emerging trends in the sector, and the collaboration with Jindal Stainless to redefine sustainable living. Let's meet the strategist powering Whiteland's mission. Thank you so much for giving us your time, sir. Let me start you off with the first question. Can you tell us about Whiteland's journey and the vision that drives the company?
Whiteland is about 4 years into existence, so we are relatively new and young. But it all started with our promoters' thought and vision to be honoring the word that has been spoken. And you know that the journey began from a concept where he was into the distribution of real estate product. But from there till now, the last 4 years, it has primarily been with the focus on 5 key pillars. The first pillar being our client, most important for us. Second, our channel partners who connect us to our clients. Third is our employees. Fourth, our financial partners. And fifth, all our vendors, so our architects, interior designers, our contractors, all of them. So these 5 pillars are something that we are working on with the highest of corporate governance and a very high integrity with customer-centric approach. So in the times to come, quality will be something that we would want to be recognized with. So that's Whiteland for you. And the bottom line, Priyam, is global outlook, Indian values. So it is evident in the way that we have operated so far.
What made you join Whiteland, and how have you adapted your leadership style through your journey?
Decision or the choice to join Whiteland was primarily from the fact that I have known our chairman, our founder, Mr. Navdeep Sudana, for about 15 years. And I have known him more as a human, as an individual, as a professional, than as the founder and the chairman of this organization. So I knew that there is a certain vision that he has in his mind. I have seen his journey for 15 years, and it was but natural for 2 like-minded people to join the journey together. I've been a hotelier, and being with people, dealing with people has always been the way of life with me. Primarily, nothing much has changed, but the good part is that you are in sync with the organization's thought and philosophy, and you could add value to this direction going forward. So that to me is a great opportunity. We are doing a product which is really, really world class. And being a hotelier, again, an opportunity to be with Marriott and to be doing branded residences, that is our pride at the moment. So it all kind of gelled well, and it all formed the right bouquet for me in terms of value offerings and product offerings.
What are some of the key initiatives that have lent Whiteland the rapid growth and success that you've seen over the last few years?
We firmly believe that the quality of water in your tap is a function of the quality of water in your overhead tank. So it all flows from the top. So there is a saying which says only the wearer knows where the shoe bites. The North Indian market primarily is channel driven. So if you're able to understand what their points are in terms of challenges that they face when they reach out to clients, and for promises that are kept and not kept. Second is developers grow, but do the channel partners also grow along with them? So that model of inclusive growth is something which has given us an edge. We understand where a channel partner comes from because our genesis had been from that background. But the third and the most important aspect is our ability to bring in the global expertise with that Indian touch and flavor. So value-wise, we are deeply embedded in our ethos of being true to our word, of being humble, being grounded, and yet delivering a product which is truly international, really cutting edge, and also curating for the environment. So it is also not just about giving a great product, but also being sensitive towards the environment, being responsible towards the earth.
Speaking about the environment, what are the sustainable initiatives that Whiteland has incorporated in its developments?
We at Whiteland very strongly believe that we don't own this planet. We need to understand that it's a fundamental responsibility to hand over this planet at least in the same way that we have got it, and not make it worse for the generations to come. So as developers, there are aspects which we believe are very strong and fundamental in our initiatives towards environment protection, conservation and sustainability. So in terms of air quality, the kind of greens that we use and the kind of ventilation that we provide inside the houses. In terms of lighting, we've ensured double glazed glasses, which cut out on the heat gain inside, thereby reducing the cost on air conditioning. In terms of water, there is a high focus on the site being a zero discharge site. We use dual plumbing arrangements, going into finer detailing of the kind of marble that we use. Making that marble a shade darker would have saved us money, but then come to think of it, Priyam, post-possession, somebody who doesn't like the darker shade of the marble will have to remove it. So this is a natural product, queried from some quarry in Europe, because we're using imported marble. If you don't like it, you will have to spend 3 months to take it off, spend 3 more months to put another one. But the most important part is the marble that you've taken out, where does it go? It goes to one of these dump sites, and the marble will not be recycled. So as an organization, it was a sincere thought at our level. We said that we will use a shade which lends very well to a wide array of color palette. Another way of our being responsible towards the environment and working towards sustainability is our use of Jindal Stainless steel in our diaphragm wall. The life of concrete is said to be anywhere between 70 to 75 years. Primarily, a concrete's life is a function of what has gone inside, what is holding the concrete together, and usually it is the steel that we put. Now, typically as the steel oxidizes, that oxidation period is what defines the life of that concrete. There are other factors as well as to what grade of concrete have you used, but the most fundamental factor is what reinforcements have you used inside. So our decision, our choice of partnering with Jindal to bring in the Infinity stainless steel into use in a diaphragm wall, it has added life to that concrete structure. So my project engineers and project seniors tell me now that from 75 years, it has gone up many-fold now. And concrete is something which is not biodegradable. So if you make something which is a longer shelf life, which will remain intact for a longer period, I think that's your way of adding a little bit to the environment as well and doing your bit to be responsible.
Can you walk us through the collaboration between Whiteland and Jindal Stainless?
This association was quite natural. While we were initially not aware of the kind of products that Jindal would bring to us, but once we evaluated and we realized that we are adding more value, and this is something which is very, very intrinsic to the entire development. The diaphragm wall forms a very integral part of the overall development, and if you use stainless steel there, it kind of shows two things. One, we being responsible for the environment. More importantly, we are also wanting to add that extra value to a buyer who's reposing his trust or faith on us. So that ways, it served both purposes, and it's been a great association. The team from Jindal has been exceptional so far. We met your managing director as well, and he's such a encyclopedia on knowledge, and whatever little I talk about concrete right now is basis the ideas and the knowledge that he shared with me. We are happy and we're glad that we chose to partner with Jindal, and Infinity Stainless that we've used here is rated to be one of the finest that you could get in this class of product.
So how did Whiteland get into branded residences?
You have to understand from two aspects. So globally, in developed economies, real estate's natural progression has been to migrate towards branded residences. It happens across all luxury verticals. It happens across all product categories as well. So typically, automobile, fashion, watches, all of it. Now, our understanding on branded was stemming from the fact that there are certain developments by certain developers in a certain geography where one product would give more value, more return to the investor or to the end user as compared to a similar development right next. So we were quite intrigued by the fact as to what is behind one product being successful and the other not being as much. Our understanding was that any developer who's knowingly or unknowingly been able to amalgamate real estate with hospitality had cracked the code of creating or unlocking that value for the investor as well as the end user. Now, we could have done it two ways. One is, we could have developed it organically, or second way was to kind of reach out to somebody who's a subject matter expert. So for stainless steel, we went to Jindal. So for hospitality, we looked around and we found Marriott to be the market leader. They've been for about 100 years doing the work in hospitality sector. And for the last quarter of a century, for about 25 years, they've also created a separate division where they have specialized into branded residences. So we thought we should reach out to them, and from then on we explored, we understood each other, and that is how this began. But today both of us are glad, and we are making this development in Sector 103, the Western Residences Gurugram, incidentally also happens to be one of the biggest standalone branded residents, not just in the country, but in the world. So we are making India proud, and that is also another aspect. So yes, it is a business initiative. Yes, as developers, we are wanting to sell this product, but I would want to use your platform to convey to all Indians or proud Indians that India has arrived, and we will make every Indian proud with what we are doing.
What is the role of branded residences, and what are the top trends that you foresee in India's real estate?
So let's first look at branded residences. So it is but natural for the real estate business to gravitate towards branded residences. In India, besides the top tier cities, it is the tier 1 and tier 2 cities which will progressively get a flavor of this development. So good things will not remain confined to the metro cities, but will permeate down below. So with better infrastructure, better spending capabilities, and higher exposure, the buyer of today is a connoisseur of a fine product, and developers will have to adapt to be able to supply that. Now, where we stand today, we are ranked, I think, about 6th in the Asian region as far as proliferation of branded residences is concerned. Now, this in the next 2 to 3 years' time will shift dramatically, and India will leapfrog, into a leadership position, because we are the 4th biggest economy at the moment. Another 2.5, 3 years, we are likely to become the 3rd biggest. We've got a young population, and people who endorse this kind of a product are people who are well-traveled, responsible towards the environment, wanting not bigger houses but much bigger social spaces. They are people who are bound by the thought and vision of bonding together and being responsible both for the country as well as for planet Earth. So these are the kind of people who are our buyers. And India's economy is going to boost this kind of development. Future-wise, I think it is important to be pragmatic. It is important to be studying well. It is important to be value-driven when you get into this kind of a business. So real estate will evolve, and you will see more educated people coming across all verticals, not just from a development perspective, but also from a distribution perspective. So this will change, because end of the day, after agriculture, if you look at it, real estate is the 2nd biggest employment generator, contributing to the economy. It is but natural that it has to evolve. Real estate, again, being one of the biggest asset classes, was not regulated by any regulator till the year 2017. So 2017, Government of India brought in a regulation where Real Estate Regulatory Authority was set up, and every state has this authority. So now our operations are governed by the guidelines that RERA sets for every state. But more important thing is, if I have to ask you, if to become a lawyer, you have to study for 5 years, then you can practice law. If you to become a doctor, you have to practice for 7 years, then you practice medicine. What kind of study does it take to become a realtor? Zilch. And that is where I would really urge the youngsters who are wanting to get into this business is focus on education. End of the day, we are custodians of our clients' wealth, and it is our moral duty and responsibility to be knowing what we are doing with it. Being more responsible for their wealth, being more responsible for our clients, and being more responsible for the country and the environment. This is a great business to be in. Hindi mein kehte hain roti, kapda aur makan. So makan is important, and for an average Indian, if you look at it, if in one's lifetime one can make one home, that is an achievement, isn't it? So if we can be partnering in fulfilling somebody's lifetime dream, what bigger thing than that? But let's do with honesty, let's do with responsibility. So that is what my advice is.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your valuable time.
Thank you so much for having me on your show and allowing me to share my thoughts, both on the industry, our association with Jindal Stainless, and also about the kind of product that we are doing as developers. Thank you so very much.